How you guys doing?
Really well. How are you?
This is how I know that the studio really believes in the movie, because they dropped bank to build this for the interviews.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And we all get to be comfortable.
Yeah, we're all not in like thin director chairs that will fall over at any moment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So listen, I have limited time, a lot of questions. I'm gonna have an individual question for you, and I really want to know who decided on the tongue and the facial hair.
Okay, facial hair was me. That was something which I just thought have some fun with, and World War II have a crazy moustache, slightly mad characters. Let's really lean into it. And then the tongue was Guy. He said, like the way we were playing it was very World War II, as you'd imagine, sort of British gentleman with a twinkle in his eye. And he went, I want you to really enjoy this killing, like do something like stick your tongue out or something. And so we did. And then when we found that, we lent into it even further, and that just became a cornerstone for the character.
One of the things, it's very weird to say a movie is fun when it involves this much killing, but it's all Nazis, so fuck them. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
but Nazis and zombies. I don't know if there are any other ones that you're allowed to just,
fall out on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, though?
Yeah.
It's like,
they had me at Guy Ritchie, Stengun, Nazis, sold.
Yeah, 100%. So did you actually figure out the number of people you kill? Because honestly, I think it's in the thousands.
I started trying to I was keeping track, and quickly it was like...
We're trying to figure out who had the most.
You got a lot.
There's one moment where I get a fair amount.
At the start, without any spoilers, that first, I think you win.
I would actually arguably say that you do the most in the film without doing
efficiently
that much.
One of the things about Guy, I've seen him work on set, and what's fascinating about his process is it's so different than other directors, where the morning of, he might say, yeah, the dialogue's not working, or like basically flipping it on its head the day of. As actors, what is it like when Guy just flips everything? And what was the biggest change on set from what you thought you were going to film or say to what you actually said?
Well, originally I was playing Henry's character and Henry was playing mine. Through the dialogue, we managed to just switch characters. But I think there is a beauty to what Guy does. I think when you come in and there's a spontaneity, it brings a freshness, and we're all in the same boat, and there's a real collaborative experience when you are sitting there, and, it's not necessarily the scenes are changing, but just the interaction between the characters. And it's the first time that I've gone onto a movie and haven't done any prep and built a character with a director and the rest of the cast. And what a fun experience that is. Nerve-wracking, but
Alex is being coy, in fact, because he turned up on set with this amazing sort of like kind of a bit of a Cockney accent. All right, lads, this is.
By the way, this is my first day, this is the first shoot or camera roll for me and all of us that we're all in the room together. But yeah, carry on.
Yeah. So he's the strategist. So he's like, the map's here. Yeah, we're going to do this. And the guy comes on set like immediately after take one. He's like, well, Alex, the accent's not working. So can we poshen him up a little bit? And they completely changed his character
on the spot.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
And so for an actor, if you're not flexible and pliable in the way that he is, like you would struggle. And I think that's a quick learning curve for a lot of us. You just never know what's going to happen. So you have to be on your feet.
That's what I mean, though, guys, and it's fascinating to me how there's so many different directors and all the processes are different, but they all can make great movies. You know what I mean? So for all of you guys, you see the shooting schedule, you know what's in front of you. What's the day you have circled in terms of, I cannot effing wait to film this?
Well, you'd never know.
I mean, that's a contradiction to the first day.
I'm excited for tomorrow. And then you realize that you didn't do anything that you were told you were going to do that day. So you quickly realize that every day, it's actually really, and as you say, like if you are somewhat like malleable and ready to roll with the punches, it's so fun because you kind of you just wake up and go, and you just got to be, as I say, ready to roll with the punches. And that spontaneity and liveliness on set, it births like so much just fun in the moment and hopefully on screen.
Yeah, it's very freeing because you're not having to worry too much about. You'll see script and there'll be pages of dialogue, and you've got like 8 pages of shooting a day or whatever on a super
Although you
day.
you had half an hour to learn about.
But sometimes that happens. You have a whole monologue, and you're like, this is a bit panicky. But other times you're going, well, I know the line's going to change in the morning, so I'm going to get an idea of what the scene's about. it really feels like a troupe of actors, and you're working with the crew to build a scene. Guy's literally saying, grab that barrel over there. And people go, we don't own that barrel. He's like, just grab it and put it in here. And it does feel very free, and you get to be super creative, and your character starts to take on a new life because there's no restrictions on the character. It can do anything in that moment which serves the scene and the story.
Last question for you guys. I think as maybe the audience won't know that this is based on real people. Some of the characters are real. Some have been, made up. But it's pretty crazy what these people did, like at age 20 to 24. And this is the first special forces group like ever. Yeah. Can you guys sort of touch on the real true story and how insane it is or amazing it is?
Yeah, I mean, the true story went considerably better than our story went. I mean, Guy has definitely made it slightly more exciting, but these guys it was a suicide mission. Yeah. There was no way that they were going to survive this. They thought, let's take a swing at it. These guys are crazy enough. We got him out the brig, and we'll just train him up and then send him off and then try and cancel it halfway through. And they went and did it anyway and were enormously successful and changed the course of the war with a single mission. It was, without these guys having done what they did, the Americans may not have joined the war.
Do you imagine it was just a handful of men who sailed to the hinge of Africa on their own to essentially scupper Germany's entire plans to take over the world.
Yeah, it's extraordinary what they did. And if it wasn't true, you wouldn't believe it. You'd be like, that's a ridiculous story. Yeah. That's sort of superhero stuff.
On that note, I got to go. I'm just going to say congrats. Hope the movie's a huge hit and enjoy your speed dating.